Kempire is brought to you by.
We just had another successful Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era live experience in Atlanta, and we are headed to Washington, D.C. on August 22nd. Every single show is so uniquely different. Ask anyone that's been to the Philly show or the Atlanta show or the next Washington, D.C. show. Get your tickets today for our night of hot topics, tea being spilled, me and you, and for so much more. More information will be available in the description on our next show date, which will be coming up August 22nd. And then our last summer tour date will be here in New York City on September 12th at the Green Room 42. That show not only will have a meet and greet available, will also have a live stream option. So no matter where you are in the world, you will be able to be a part of the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era live show in New York City on September 12th. More information on both shows will be available in the description. I'll see you all very soon.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Someone in the chat said I pulled the Lisa. I was actually working. I was watching the Real Housewives of Miami after show. First of all, can you guys hear me, see me? We're live on Twitch, Twitter. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Or we're live everywhere, okay? Io, if you don't like the intro, you know where you can go, girl. Where's Io? Hold on. Io. Y'all keep forgetting it's the Villain Era still to the end of the year. Io, you can go. You don't have to be here, but obviously you're here because you want to hear the recap, right? So you'll deal with the intro, right? Right. Yeah, I'm still in my Villain Era. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Okay? Thank you so much, Cindy. Cindy says sound and audio is good. Thank you. All right. Anyway, so this is our Real Housewives of Miami recap. We have 2 episodes this week to recap when it comes to Real Housewives of Miami. They're switching Miami from Wednesday nights to Thursday nights. So there'll be a new episode again tonight. So there's 2 new episodes. It's coming on after Real Housewives of Orange County. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do a separate recap for Orange County and do another recap of Real Housewives of Miami. It really depends on whether or not Real Housewives of Orange County is actually good. Both places are on a trip right now, so we shall see. We shall see. You know, if you've been watching a Real Housewives of Orange County recaps, I haven't hated it, but I haven't really loved this season. But who knows? It's still early when it comes to Real Housewives of Orange County. But speaking of other cities, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's trailer dropped today. And you already know, if you've been watching our recaps for a very long time, I was one of those people that said Salt Lake City, I'm not interested in that city. Why did they choose that city? We've been watching it and recapping it since the beginning. I've enjoyed Salt Lake City except that one season. That was the season that Jen Shaw was going to jail. Remember that? That was a terrible season, and that should have been their best season. It was their worst season. They've only had really one terrible season, and that was that season. I think that was, season 4? Okay. Yeah, season 4. Not great. However, the trailer dropped today. I'm not going to play the video for you because, Bravo, and I have to stop and go and do all the stuff because Bravo's so particular about their content. I think it's like the AI or whatever it may be. Whatever. So we're going to play a little bit of the trailer and react to what's happening in this trailer because there's also a falling apart of the relationship between Mary Cosby and Angie K. However, it seems to be that they're in a better place now because they were at that award show together. So there it goes. But I've always said about Salt Lake City, I love whoever edits it. Mind you, the same people that produce Salt Lake City produce Real Housewives of New York. You couldn't tell. I don't know if they have special editors. I don't know if it's just the special energy of these women, but it's just cinematically different between the 2 cities and how it's produced and edited. Okay. Jen Falala says, Kim, do you have your pom-pom shorts on? Did you come to the Atlanta show? Well, no, these aren't really pom-poms. They're not short enough to be pom-poms. But if I turn the top up, they could be semi-pom-poms. A little bit. Not really. Not really. I don't have my pom-poms on, but I did go to Pilates this morning, so I'm still in my Pilates gear, so that's why the arms are out. I'm going to go to the gym, though, and do some weights. after this. All right, let's get to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and then we'll get into the Real Housewives of Miami. Be sure, if you're watching on YouTube, to let us know how you would rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Miami. Also, don't forget you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. Yesterday, because I was doing some things with the podcast, so we finally uploaded the audio from Monday's recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 6 flashback recaps that we're doing. So be sure, if you wanted to listen to it on the podcast, you now can. Also, if you're a Club Kempire member, I dropped the Club Kempire episode yesterday, and I talked about podcasting. I talked about the Hunting Wives. I talked about a bunch of different things. So if you're not a member, there is a free 3-day trial. Become a member today. More information on that is available in the Apple Podcast app, or if you don't have an Apple Podcast app, just go to Apple Podcasts website, okay? And you can join there. All right. So let me just play the audio for you from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 6 trailer, all right? And apparently the new season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City will premiere on September 16th, I believe it was. All right, so let me play the audio. Again, I'm going to stop and go. I almost forgot that they take a trip to Greece. Finally, because because of the Jen Shaw of it all, they really had lackluster group trips, and they had to really stay within the country. But now they've really been venturing out, and now we get a really good trip in Season 6. So let me play the audio for you. I'm going to stop and go because, copyright issues. But we're going to play this under fair use for research purposes. All right. All you see is the Greek flag, okay?
House ruled by image. Truth is the only scandal.
Stop with your lies.
Apparently they have some sort of dinner where they have to wear those like old school white wig, curly wigs. So I don't know what that's about, but we'll see.
No secrets. Say it one more time. I'm going to lose my mind.
Why does Mary have a costume where she has like one of those little fake knives over her head? Okay.
Gossip grows like mold in this family.
We all need to own things.
Tell me the truth.
I almost forgot Brittany's coming back for another season. I almost forgot her thirsty self. I really didn't mind Brittany. Remember I said last season, Brittany really carried the season, but I just haven't loved Brittany's social media. She's so thirsty for attention, and I don't love a thirsty person. Speaking of thirsty, let me take a sip.
Everyone wore guilt in their eyes.
We have to be honest about this.
Just tell her. I'm afraid.
I think Meredith is going to have a tough season. Because you remember there were rumors that Meredith was fired, and I told you those rumors weren't true. I've heard from very reliable sources that it weren't true, but she does have a breakdown, apparently.
This season on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
It's a week to be great.
Can I just say this? I think Whitney's a beautiful woman. I don't like her with the red hair, but that's me.
Go. It's all about forward momentum at this point.
Why are they moving a mattress? Both Whitney, bad weather. Why are they moving a mattress this way? I don't understand. But I'm glad to see that they're back to being cousins and having a good time. I did not like to see them fighting.
I'm gonna pee. Good thing we're incognito.
Ladies, we're gonna get you.
Wait, are Bronwyn and Meredith getting along this season?
And get you in the water. The other way around.
Oh, don't forget, we're also going to get a below deck crossover with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you know how much I love below deck.
Yeah, the other way around.
Wow.
How's Robert Jr. doing?
He's doing as well as he can be doing. Like, some days he's good, some days he's not.
It's his journey, and I know God will work it out.
God, some days he's good, some days he's not.
It's his journey, and I know God will work it out.
God's gonna give you guys what you need.
I feel like we're on different.
I don't think, and this is the new promo photo, and I'll put new in quotes. That was Mary Cosby talking about Robert Jr. I mean, we're talking about addiction, so I'm not shocked that it's not completely like all of a sudden he's automatically well. We also have a scene of Mary Cosby in her church. Remember, she said she was renovating the church. We have her preaching in the church. Okay, then we have this scene with Lisa.
Pages.
Where's the water?
Pages. I feel like we're on different pages.
Where's the water?
Lisa says this to her husband. They're on different pages, please. This is giving storyline, but okay.
My husband.
Why do you feel like you're just rebuilding trust?
I don't know.
Wait a second. So Lisa goes to a tarot reader, and I'm guessing this is her storyline this season. Marriage trouble?
She say, don't tell John I borrowed the money.
Is this the mystery man that Andrew talks about?
Yeah. You were trying to make sure I wasn't having sex, and guess what? I had a baby by myself.
You know how miserable I was trying to hide it?
My mom.
So Bronwyn's mother's making an appearance this season.
Disappointed in me. She's made that very clear. You know how I feel about when people misunderstand me. I shouldn't have to feel misunderstood with you, too.
I saw something today about...
Oh my gosh. This, whatever party that they're having that looks like a Halloween party where Heather has an axe in her head and blood all over her face. I don't know. I don't know what party this was, but these are our ladies, and this is why we love them.
A mistress.
What if I'm wrong? And I'm going to look like a fool?
Hold on, I got to hear that part again. Who has a mistress?
I
feel misunderstood with you, too.
I saw something today about a mistress.
What if I'm wrong?
So we don't know who she's referring to. That was Brittany talking about somebody having a mistress.
And I'm going to look like a fool. He humiliates me.
Bronwyn and Mary Cosby seem to have formed a friendship. And this was a scene with Mary Cosby and Bronwyn having a conversation. And now we're with Meredith.
They're about bankruptcy and shoplifting.
Also, Meredith and Angie K are in a better place. Okay.
And every
Hold on.
And I'm going to look like a fool. He humiliates me.
There's things out there about bankruptcy and shoplifting.
You questioned every...
Also, they're talking about Bronwyn, because I'm sure by now, if you follow any of these blogs or bloggers, you saw that there was a lot of this information coming out about Bronwyn. So apparently they're going to be talking about it this season.
What if I'm wrong? And I'm going to look like a fool. He humiliates me.
There's things out there about bankruptcy and shoplifting.
You questioned every single thing I have. Shut your mouth. I'm not going to shut my mouth. I'm going to come over there and pull your ears further back than they've been pulled by your...
So there's some battling between Lisa Barlow and Angie Kate this season.
Facelift. I don't have a facelift, but I have 12 threads on each side.
What's 12? What does that mean? 12. She doesn't have a facelift, but she has 12 threads. What is that? What is that? Is that a different procedure? Look, should I get one? Look, should I get one? I'm kidding.
My sister. I am.
Uh-oh. There's some fighting between Mary Cosby and Angie K.
You're supposed to be my sister. I am your sister. No, you're not.
Hold on. Did Mary Cosby say you're supposed to be my sister? Not sister. She says, you're supposed to be my sister. Really? Okay. Hold on, let me play that again.
You're supposed to be my sister. I am your sister.
No, you're not. Find another one, okay?
Oh, not find another one.
Behold the Sisters of Salt, a Greek tragedy.
When somebody shows you who they are, you deal with them accordingly.
The rumors hang above them like smoke.
You should really go to school.
You should go to work and pay those lawsuits off. It's what you should do.
You gouging.
Oh, damn. Okay, so it looks as if not only does Lisa have issues with Angie K this season, she has issues with Bronwyn. Sidebar, based off of the first 2 minutes, we haven't really seen a lot of Heather Gay this season. Like, you see her there, but you don't hear her.
Paranoia bloomed like a bruise.
You're the one that did it. How do you think that makes me feel?
Hold on, wait. We see a scene with Lisa Barlow pointing at Heather Gay. Hold on. Not Trouble in Paradise. Shocker.
You're the one that did it. How do you think that makes me feel?
Walk the away. Maybe it was all of them. Maybe it was none.
You've never done anything to them.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
Apparently, you're already taking it.
Yep.
September 16th, the new season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City returns. Are you ready for it? I'm ready for it. I have to say, they've proven themselves as worthy. They've definitely proven themselves as worthy. Let me show you their new promo photo, and I'm going to put quotes around new because it's not new. It's the promo photo from last year, except I can't even say that they're all in a different pose because some of them are in the same pose. It's just a different background. Bravo. Tom's a horde? Are Tom's horde over there, Bravo? What is happening? Why could we not? They had such a stellar season. Again, I don't know the budgets. I don't know who got raises. Remember, there were rumors that Lisa Barlow wasn't filming at the beginning. So now I'm wondering, what's going on with the budget? Why couldn't we do a new promo? I don't understand. Again, because we don't know budgets. This would be a good question to ask Todd. Not the Todd father. Todd Tucker, because remember he used to do budgets and stuff for Bravo. I want a better understanding, like, when do they decide that they're going to change up or not change up? I guess it, again, depends on the budget. Sounds like Bravo might be struggling, or maybe because they just signed Andy Cohen for another, I don't know how many years, they Tom's a horde. Gene says, Bravo asked ChatGPT to throw in a purple background. Oh, damn. Theo, you looked it up. Theo says, I'm seeing videos of threading and I'm grossed out. I thought threading was like the eyebrow stuff. Someone told me I should thread my eyebrows. I feel like my eyebrows are perfect the way that they are. Don't y'all? Or maybe not. Whatever. Shut up. All right. Anyway. So that was the trailer for season 6 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, coming September 16th. Right after, I'm sure by the time I have my September 12th show here in New York City, DC, I'm there next Friday. If you haven't gotten your tickets already for the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era tour. Come on. No, right? If you haven't got your tickets already, be sure to get your tickets. And then September 12th, we'll be here in New York City. That New York City show has not just meet and greets, but also a live stream option. So anyone from around the world can watch that show, but you have to buy your tickets before September 12th. But I'm sure by the time we get to the September 12th show, more tea will be spilled, more trailers will be dropped, more scenes. So stay tuned. We'll have a lot to unpack when the September. I told you every show is going to be so different because it depends on what's happening during that time. All right. Thank you so much, Jean. She says your eyebrows are perfect the way that they are. I know. That's why you can't listen to people. I was like, you should shut up. Anyway. All right. Dental G says, I was trying to go to both shows, but I'll be at the New York show. I know that's right, Dental G. Watching on Twitch. But isn't that Jasmine? I can't keep up with everyone's on different platforms, but shout out to those of you. Oh, for those of you that are watching on Twitch, do I look even better than normal? Because I'm streaming through the 4K right now. Thank you, Stephen says, your face is perfect. Don't change a thing. I mean, I'm not opposed to a nip and a tuck when I'm like 90. when I get the new wife, I'll get the nip and the tuck. That way she'll take care of me. Okay? All right. Oh, Dental G says, you look so good on here. I know they say the quality with Twitch is top tier, guys. So make sure you're following us on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheKempire. All right. How would you guys rate their new promo photo? Let me know in the chat. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City will return in September. Let's get to the Real Housewives of Miami. We're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Miami 2 days in a row. I haven't decided whether or not I'll just do one live tomorrow and talk about Real Housewives of Orange County and talk about Real Housewives of Miami, but we'll see. We'll see what my schedule allows tomorrow, okay? All right. Oh, hold on. Steffi is telling me a little bit. She says, it's a little thread of collagen that gets injected in your face, and it hurts really bad. My friend did it, and she said that it was rough, but it builds the collagen back over time. I wonder when Lisa Barlow started that. Because, I mean, if we're going to be honest, because we're talking about these things, if she just did it, then I could be like, okay. But if she's been doing it for a while, I'm like, no, thank you. Just say, I don't know. I wonder. That's a question to ask her. Okay? But yeah. But you know what I do? If you follow me on TikTok, go check out my TikTok shop. I do the little collagen supplement. I just started doing that maybe like a month ago or 2 months ago. Yep, I'm getting my collagen back. So if I look real youth, I will say the supplement made a lot of my hair grow, like everywhere except here. Really? Whoa. Even on my legs, I was like, damn, my legs are hairy now, Lord. Just saying. I don't think that was the collagen part. It's probably like the biotin that's in it too. Okay, what are we talking about? Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Miami. Guys, if you had to rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Miami from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? It was a good episode. I think I'm going to give it an 8.5, 9. I'm going to give it a 9. I thought it was good. Tanya said, I have hairy legs and arms. Ooh. Okay, Tanya. All right. So we see everyone packing, getting ready for their trip to Sevilla. Okay. Did you guys notice? And I don't know if production has been listening to us. I don't know. However, this episode was Adriana heavy. Did you guys notice that? I felt like she was the narrator of this episode, and I was here for it because she educated us. She gave us clarity. She reminded us of things. I enjoyed her narrating what was happening with this group. I thought it was such a good episode because of that. Okay, so we have everyone at the airport. Alexia reveals that she used to live in Spain as a young woman, very young. I think she said she was like 16 to like 20 something. So she said she lived in Spain, and she talked about how people call Sevilla Seville, and that's incorrect. We learned something new. Okay, Lisa is late. Lisa Hochstein is late yet again. In some ways, okay. Westchester Latina. You can find. I think it's micro ingredients, but you can find the actual one that I use on my TikTok shop in regards to the collagen. All right. But anyway, focus, y'all, because I know some of the comments are coming in a little bit late. Dental G said, she said 17 to 23. Yeah, so pretty young. That's when Alexia lived in Sevilla. But Lisa is late. Everyone makes it to the airport. We have to remember this is an international flight. And I saw the after show. That's why I was late. I saw the after show, and Lisa tried to make it seem it was the gate agent's fault. Well, not even the gate agent. It was the agent before you even see the gate agent. It was the agent at the desk where you check your bags. She's like, I still had a minute. I said, girl, you're supposed to be there at least according to Delta, 3 hours before your flight. So the fact that you had a minute didn't mean that you were going to make it to your gate. I don't know what the airport over there looks like. However, you're not going to make it to your gate in time if you have a minute. She claimed during the after show that she had a minute. And she's like, the lady was taking her time. She's like, I have a flight. I still have a minute. Why are you not checking my bag? She was being a Karen. She didn't say it. She didn't give us all the exact details of what she said and did at that gate. But the energy was giving Karen. I know all of you think that she's black because she's got a Jamaican parent. No. I always tell you too. Karen is not necessarily just race. It's an energy. Y'all saw the black Karen the other day that went viral. But Lisa telling the gate agent, I have a minute. Can you imagine her being bratty and getting snotty? I can. I don't care if you have a minute. The gate agent doesn't have to rush. Because first of all, she has to make sure she's doing her job correctly before she checks your bags. I don't want them to rush that process. Because even when they take their time, sometimes they get it wrong. So no, take your time, lady. All right? So she's like, I had a minute. And Jody was my witness. Girl, what is wrong with her? And then she says later in the episode, when they find out the reasons, okay, Lisa, are these the same reasons from years? They've shown the amount of times that Lisa has been late. Even late for her this season's confessional. They said she was 2 hours late. I hate a late person. It's so disrespectful. It shows a lack of respect for people's time. I hate that. However, I don't feel like the ladies should be that upset with her because it's not like it affects their trip at all. What? But on their side, I will say, Lisa could have sent a message in the group text. Guys, I'm running late. I missed my flight. She hadn't sent anything to them, according to them. I don't know if this is TV magic, but according to them, they're saying that she didn't even send them a text to let them know that she was running late and that she was going to miss the flight. She didn't think that she was going to miss the flight, but you saw because she missed the flight, homegirl had to get a layover in London and then fly to Madrid, and then from Madrid she had to take a train. I'm assuming no production person was with her. I mean, at least she did it. I wouldn't have done it. I'm like, guys, I'll catch the next flight tomorrow. That probably would have been what I would have done. But I don't understand why she's so late. And again, they showed multiple examples over the last couple of years of Elisa being late. So when she says at the end of this episode, they're going to feel real sorry when they find out why I'm always late. She didn't say it like that, but really? Really? Come on. Stop. Dental G says that Lisa needs to grow up. She does. But she doesn't. She's never going to. She went from the marriage where she was being taken care of to now this relationship where she's being taken care of. I can't imagine. This is why I understood why everyone's like, Lisa's doing all of this to get here. It took her, she was almost 24 hours late. Almost 24 hours late. Like 23 hours and something minutes. Literally almost 24 hours late for this trip. That's pretty bad. But at least she came. K-Baby says at least is the constant victim. She is. All right, let's move on from there. Let's get to the private plane. So Stephanie arrives. Did anyone else find Stephanie's interaction with her driver a little weird? She's like shakes his hand. Well, I think her driver, I guess the pilot or whoever. I don't know who that guy was. One of her staff. And she shakes his hand like, and I was like, okay, like you never met him before? Like what is happening right now? Miss Melon Magic said Lisa might have AC too. Come on. So Stephanie comes out. She mentions her Birkin. Her Birkin's $70,000. She's like, and I've got Birkins on Birkins inside this Birkin. I saw a video this morning where someone was complaining about Stephanie talking too much about her money and things like that. I'm going to defend Stephanie for a second. Just for a second, because I'm not one of the people that watch this show for the lap and luxury that some of you claim that you want to see on the show. Because when we first started watching Real Housewives, none of these women were the lap of luxury. Yes, they lived a certain lifestyle. They were a certain level of middle class, but a lot of them didn't have all of this money and things like that. But all of you keep putting in Bravo and the production's head, you want to see the lap of luxury. So I told you, what you're probably seeing from Stephanie is something that they're asking her to talk more about and what she thinks that you guys want to hear from her. But now you guys are complaining about her always talking about her things. So I blame you. I blame not us, but okay, maybe y'all. I blame y'all. Because you keep saying that you want to see these women with the lap of luxury, and then when you see the lap of luxury and she's talking about the lap of luxury, I will say it does feel a little forced. But when you start seeing it and you're hearing about it, now you're like, oh, I don't like her. I think she's just not likable. I don't even think it has anything to do with her talking about her Birkins and things like that. I think Stephanie just is not that likable. And hence why she doesn't have any friends. Come on. Hence why she doesn't have any friends. So she's got a $70,000 Birkin. And I feel also some of her riches and her flaunting all of that isn't necessarily landing because the rumors of foreclosures, the rumors of money being taken out of trust funds, allegedly. V says, not us, Kemp. I have to say, our community haven't been like that yet. We don't mind seeing it, but it's not necessary for us. And what I've come to understand is that a lot of these housewives that you think have money really don't. Just saying. Taurus Moon says, no, Kempire, I disagree. Stephanie leads with her money. Sorry, her old man's money. You can disagree, but I see what people say on social media all the time, and they were like, oh, we want to see luxury. We want to see this. We want to see that. It's not that anyone leads with luxury. Y'all keep saying you want to see luxury. maybe not us, but definitely social media says, oh, we want to see luxury, blah, 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 blah. You're seeing it. She's talking about it. But okay. Teresa says, I love seeing wealthy, but forcing it on me is a turnoff. Not forcing it on you. I will say it doesn't feel, she definitely feels nouveau riche, like new money for me. Okay. Westchester Latina says, Stephanie has a licorice personality. Guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. We will be recapping episode 11 tomorrow of The Real Housewives of Miami. So stay tuned for that. And they will start, I don't know why they do this, because it messes up my reviewing schedule. Because at the end of the day, I will push Orange County to like Saturday or pre-record it. Just saying. I agree. Tyler says, personality greater than luxury lifestyle. Period. I think we would like Gina from Real Housewives of Orange County more if her personality was better. That's got to be like the worst diss for someone like your personality sucks. But yeah. But okay. All right. So Stephanie arrives and everyone's like, take off your shoes. She's like, oh, it's my plane. Like, there was so many little things at the beginning of her arrival. And she's like, you know what the departure time is whenever I arrive. Okay. All right. Take off your shoes and get acquainted. Okay. So she arrives. She has gifts for everyone. Okay. And she says, she has pajamas for them. And she's like, not everyone gets Shoma branded pajamas. Here's the thing. I don't know anything about Shoma. Yes, they may sell $1 million real estate, blah, 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 blah. Girl, I don't care about no Shoma pajamas. If you had given us brand name pajamas like a Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, even Telfar. I don't know, Telfar do pajamas? Like, then I'd be like, oh, these are exclusive. Don't nobody want no Shoma pajamas. They probably threw those suckers out before they got off the plane. She's like, nobody gets Shoma. Here's the other thing, and this might, what the fans don't like either, is Shoma everything, promoting her brand. I told you, she was probably being strategic, probably because the money ain't that great, allegedly. She said, let's use this platform to promote the real estate business because now we don't have your ex-wife's father's money, allegedly. Oh, so Adriana says that she thought that Julia chose for her to not. Adriana weighs in regards to why she felt a way about Julia flying the private plane because she felt like she chose not to include Adriana. And I can understand. We have to remember what we're not seeing is that there is a rift in the friendship between Adriana and Julia. Okay? So she talks about that, and Stephanie was just like, I wasn't sure where you guys are in regards to your friendship. And they were like, we're okay. We're okay right now. Jean says, does Bravo get a cut of Shoma now? I don't think so. The Bethany clause more so has to do with like any sort of new business that you bring on the show. But again, everyone's contract is different. For all we know, all this promotion of Shoma on the show might include a percentage. I doubt it, though, because this is a well-established brand before being on the show. So, okay. Oh, Sabrina says, oh, wait, not Sabrina. April says, say what, Kemp? The money is funny over there? That's the word on the street, April. That's the word on the street. And the more we see it play out on this show, I'm sort of like, oh, okay, this is why we're showing so much of this real estate brand. Okay, this is why we're showing the real estate so much. Not bad, but here we are. Tanya says, no, we see the rift, Kemp. Just pointing it out in regards to Julia and Adriana. So Adriana says she just felt like maybe Julia did not advocate for her to be on the plane with her. And Julia's just like, not my plane, not my plane, not my rules. Not my plane, not my rules. Okay, fine. Larsa says that she's still upset with Lisa because they're talking about Lisa and they wonder if Lisa made the flight. And she says she's still mad at Lisa because Lisa still has not unfollowed Marcus. Here's the thing. Yes, we felt like they were dragging out this fight between Lisa and Larsa. But in all fairness, with everything that's happened in regards to Marcus and Larsa, and your friend, or at least friendly, you're on a cast with someone, why hasn't she unfollowed Marcus? Wouldn't that just be the simple thing to do? Unfollow him? You guys aren't close like that. Why would you? I would just unfollow him. And if he asks you about, like, it's complicated. I don't understand it. So I don't mind. Again, for us to have a better understanding what's happening between Larsa and Lisa, they're still not 100%, despite having that conversation, the iconic conversation that we talked about in recap, but they're still not in a great place. All right. They wonder what the other women are thinking. This was like a weird conversation because they're on the private jet when they should just be having a good time. But they're thinking, I wonder if they're happy about us, flying private. They go to a confessional with Marisol. She's like, yeah, much. And look, I don't want to have to fly commercial and go through TSA and do this and that and blah. I mean, honestly, I don't care about all that. Would I want to fly private? Sure, why not? However, they flew business class. Damn, the budget. They couldn't even get them first class to Sevilla? What's going on over there, Bravo? They couldn't get the entire cast to Sevilla? Well, the problem probably is because this cast is very big. When you think about it in comparison to the other housewives, and maybe they do normally travel business class when traveling internationally, unless they pay for it themselves. I don't know. Or they pay for the upgrade. I don't know. But business class didn't look bad. You saw what business class looked. On certain flights, business class isn't bad. Like Emirates, business class looks like first class. I'm trying to remember, because I flew business class on Emirates before. Does that thing go all the way down? I think it actually does. You just don't have a separate pod like first class. And the first class on Emirates is on a whole nother level of the plane. Yeah, it's luxurious. I would like to fly first class on Emirates. So it really depends on the airline. I'll say this, though. Delta, y'all need to get your game up. First class is not all the same on Delta internationally. Nationally, I don't really expect anything for like the domestic flights. But internationally, I've flown first class on Delta. Look, really? I remember for my birthday trip a couple of years ago, I think it was the first time I went to London, and I did first class, but it wasn't, the flight wasn't by Delta, it was by Virgin. Virgin's first class, you got your little pod. It's like a whole little apartment. It's still not like Emirates. Emirates is still better. But it was still noise. And their first class in JFK, their lounge, because if you're flying Virgin, you get to use their lounge as opposed to the Delta lounge. I like their lounge because you could order your food and the food comes to you. I don't feel like the food comes to you in the Delta lounge. No, it's like buffet style. Look. It's buffet style. Oh, gross. So, but in the Virgin Atlantic lounge, there's a little QR thing. You use the QR thing, you order your food. Oh, damn. Maybe my next trip, I need to fly Virgin. Look, Angel said, who's watching on Twitch, Angel says, I need my food to come to me even at the movie theater. And now you can do that. There's so many movie theaters now where you can do all of that. Ooh, Jean says, I've never flew this airline. What is it pronounced? Lufthansa? First class is super spacious also. Business class ain't bad either. See, I've never flown them. At least I don't think so. Anyway, we've digressed. Let me focus on Real Housewives of Miami, or just talking about the flight. So the ladies that are on Stephanie's plane. Now I'm understanding, guys, why all the ladies couldn't be on Stephanie's plane, because I know it does look huge. But remember, it has beds and things like that. And I guess not everyone, because even with the women that were flying, not everyone was able to lay down. Context in regards to the Julia and Stephanie beef. Stephanie has a full bed on her plane. her and Larsa were going to share that. However, she allowed, because I guess Julia just decided to lay on the full-size bed without asking, and she just let her do it. So Stephanie slept in one of the regular airplane chairs, and Adriana, who else was there? Well, Adriana slept in the other bed. So now, if that context is important, because Stephanie was really being gracious and just like, okay, you know, but that makes us understand why not everyone could have flew on this plane. There probably wasn't enough seats or enough beds and things like that to fly comfortably. We have to keep in mind, cameramen are probably on this flight with them. Producers are probably on this flight with them. So all of those logistics. It's a big plane. Doesn't mean it has the capacity for everyone, which is fine. So they make that conversation. They have that conversation in regards to, I wonder what the other ladies are thinking. Do you think they could get? You think that they're getting their own pajamas? Here's the thing: business class, you're not getting your own pajamas. But I'll tell you this: when I flew Virgin first class, we got our own pajamas. The same for Emirates. All right, so they talk about that. What else is it? Stephanie says she feels like Alexia's... So they talk about the issues between Stephanie and Alexia. And she says she feels like Alexia is always belittling her and other women. And Julia, with a Y, it's just like, oh, I don't think Alexia does that. I would belittle other women. I don't think that. Adriana's just like, really? So for the last 2 years, what she's been doing to me, you forgot? So in her confessional, Adriana's just like, I don't know what's going on with Julia. I don't know what's going on with her, because she has like selective amnesia when it comes to Alexia. I agree. All right, speaking of Adriana, so we see them go to bed. We see Larsa and Julia share their bed. They're wearing the gift that Stephanie gave them. The next day, we get a lesson. So the women are all, they're up, they're ready to go. We get a lesson from Adriana in regards to Spain. This is why I always remind you guys, Adriana is very smart. She doesn't always show it, but when she does, I'm like, oh, okay, let's learn something. So she explains that how there are 5 different versions of Spanish that's utilized in Spain. All right, and then she talks about the history of why certain things are pronounced the way that they do. Julia, once they get off the plane and they arrive at the hotel, Julia says that she gave the presidential suite to Alexia. I understand Alexia is going through some things, but here's the thing: Alexia isn't actually divorced. The divorce hasn't gone through. She's still sleeping with the man. Alexia is really not going through a lot, y'all. It's not that deep. We do have a friend over here, though, that's recovering from cancer, and you guys haven't done anything for her. You haven't done anything for her. But okay, let's make this trip about Alexia forgetting Todd. However, during the trip, you saw the preview for probably tomorrow's episode, where Alexia is wearing her wedding ring again. So, come on now. Why are we doing a special trip for Alexia? What has she really gone through? And watch next season, she's back with Todd. But okay. Fine. However, Masood upgrades Stephanie's room to a presidential suite. Okay? So they go to her room, and you see the room is filled with flowers and balloons. Like, here's the thing. The more they spend money, the more that they're doing all of these theatrical things, I'm not sure if this is genuine or it's for the show or whose money he's actually spending. I don't know. I have to say, I look at the situation a little differently. And I hate that. I hate that every time we get someone that's supposedly rich on the show, the money is a little funny. I hate that. So, because I'm wondering, like, who paid for this? I mean, is there anything actually in those boxes? I don't know. But I do, if we can just forget about the rumors and just take it as it is, okay? I'm like, well, this is beautiful. I do want to see what's in those boxes. This is really sweet of him. I want to not think about what we've been hearing. I wonder if it comes up during the reunion. I hope it comes up during the reunion because I need to hear her response. But okay. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. We will be recapping episode 11 tomorrow, along with Real Housewives of Orange County. So stay tuned for that. Make sure your notifications are on. Okay? Let me say thank you. We had a super chat. Asia, thank you so much for the super chat. Asia says, I watched Kempire first before the episode. Anyway, I'm a proud mama today because my daughter got her A-levels results with, what is this, AAA, and going to the top UK university. Congratulations, Asia. Come on. Everyone say congratulations to Asia. Yeah. Congratulations. All right. And I can't wait to get back to London. I really had a good time. I really like London. I just, for those that asking for a show, slow your roll. Okay. All right. So they go back and they see Stephanie's room. Okay. So this is where Adriana talks about a guy that she dated and how he flew her out to a private island in the Bahamas. And then she said, I'm sure we can Google schmoogle this because not many people own private islands in the Bahamas. So she, at first, before she said he died, I was like, wait, what was it Johnny Depp? But no. She said that the guy flew her out, flowers, all the candlelight dinner, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Hold on, wait a second. Cookie says, Kempire, did you see that Stephanie opened the second box? It's supposed to be a Chanel necklace, but we see a close-up of it. But we don't see a close-up of it. We see her boots, not the necklace. I didn't notice that, but okay. Did she buy it herself? I don't know. Who knows? Who cares at this particular point? I don't think Stephanie will be on this show long, to be honest with you. I could see Stephanie maybe coming back next season, but that's about it. I don't see her lasting long on this show, especially if the money's funny. Just saying. Allegedly, okay? So Adriana recalls about a guy she dated that took her to a private island. She says shortly after that, though, he died, apparently flying back from the island to West Palm Beach. The helicopter went down. Damn. That sucks. So Adriana has lived a life. I know a lot of people like to downplay Adriana, but Adriana has lived a life. She has definitely lived a life. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see all of her marriage because we sort of saw the lead up to all of that, and then they were on a break for 8 years. So who knows? All right. Stephanie. So they end up meeting back down by the bar. And Stephanie says that she doesn't really go on girls' trips. She hasn't been on a girls' trip in a long time. And then she says that she's obsessed with first of all, she says she's obsessed with Tomas. I thought this was a cute scene. Tomas was one of the workers from the hotel, and he was helping her unpack. When you have a presidential suite, they'll do stuff like that for you. Okay? So she talks about how much she loves. She's telling the manager, it's like, oh my God, I love Tomas. So they flash back and they show Tomas helping her unpack. Tomas might be one of the, I think so, because he was loving this a little too much. He's like, I forgot what she said. I forgot what she said. She made him repeat it. Something about being a bad bee. So he repeats it. It was a very cute scene. I'm glad they left it in. Okay. But then Stephanie says that she's obsessed with her husband, that she doesn't do a lot of girls' trips. And they show all the pictures of her hanging out with Masood around the world and doing things like that. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that relationship. I don't necessarily get like, oh my God, they're so in love with each other and they're so obsessed with each other. I don't necessarily get that. I don't know. But again, we're only getting a screenshot of their relationship. Based on what we've seen, maybe because Stephanie doesn't seem very likable. But maybe to him, she is likable. I don't know. There's just something not warm about her. Oh, thank you, Dental G. This is what Stephanie said to Tomas. No basic B words. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Angel said, oh, hold on. Angel says that I think that she's Velcro to him so she doesn't lose him how she got him. Oh, well, that's the rumor that she worked for him and stole him from the first Shojai wife, the one that actually had allegedly the money that started the Shoma business. Allegedly. That's the Reddit streets are saying. Who knows what's true? I need somebody to come out and confirm. Savannah says that she's too direct. Stephanie? I think that's what makes her a good housewife, to being that direct. April says, I love my husband, but baby, I still need my friends outside of him. And she doesn't have any friends. You guys notice that? She doesn't have any real friends. And I think that's why she probably could be friendly with these women, because she knows after everything that happens, they won't be her friend regardless. I don't think she has any friends like that. All right, let me move on because I'm already tired. So she talked about that. Stephanie believes that Alexia has so they start talking about Alexia, and she says that she feels like Alexia has a superiority complex. So they're talking about the issues that she has with Alexia. Then Alexia and Marisol arrive, and immediately, and Julia tried to twist it. Even in the after show, she's trying to twist it, making it seem like, oh, we were just talking about you. No. These were her exact words. She runs up like a puppy dog to Alexia. You're not going to get away from these lapdog rumors, Julia. She runs up to Alexia, and she's like she's got some tea to spill. She's like, get ready. We were talking about you. And Alexia's like, oh, y'all don't need to talk about me. And Julia's like, I wasn't talking about you. So Julia, explain that. You were saying that you weren't talking about her. But then you try to make it seem like, oh, we were just talking about you. No. You ran up to Alexia because you feel like that is your new bestie, your new ally. And you ran up to her, get ready. We were talking about you. She's such a weirdo. I know y'all, she's a weirdo to me, but I've been telling y'all this since the reboot started. Never liked her. But pay attention. Adriana notices it, and she's like, what is going on? And Adriana made a snarky comment. I didn't write it down what Adriana said, but she made a snarky comment about, like what is happening right now? And Stephanie is upset about it. She's just like, why did you run and tell her anything like that? I don't blame Stephanie for being upset with Julia, because Julia now wants to paint it like, oh, we were just talking about you. Like, normally we'd be like, oh, there you are. We were just talking about you. That's not how Julia said it. Julia ran up and whispered it basically. Get ready. We were just talking about you. Come on. Because if she didn't mean it that way, when Alexia had that reaction, she would have been like, oh, no, not like that. Not like that. Girl. So Stephanie confronts Julia for doing that. She's like, why are you stirring the pot? She's like, if anyone's going to stir the pot, I can stir the pot. Okay? So Julia tries to downplay what she said to Alexia, but again, when you see the playback, that's exactly what she was doing. She was trying to stir the pot. Okay? And Stephanie's just like, why do you have to stir the pot? That was so unnecessary. I agree. Amber, thank you so much for the super chat. Amber says Julia is no friend. Who wants to hear that after a flight, especially a long one? She's not even good at being messy. She isn't. And especially after we find out that Stephanie was so gracious to her on the flight, because Stephanie was going to share the bed on the flight with Larsa. And Julia just plopped down and took over the bed. Julia is the narcissist. We talk about all these women being narcissists, but I keep telling you every single week, no, Julia is the real narcissist in this group. And again, if she can't have her own partner's back, Martina's back, why do you think that she would have Adriana's back? Why do you think that she would have anyone's back besides her own? She's selfish. Just saying. Our show says the invitation is so spot on. I'm cracking up. Just said, look, it is what it is. All right. All right. So we have the women, they go up to their rooms, they're getting ready for dinner and things like that. So a random man keeps calling Larsa. And she keeps blocking him, and then they call from a different number. That's weird. That is weird. Sidebar, on the after show, they talk a little bit about Larsa's new man, the young guy that she's dating. What does he do for a living? He's not a Nepo baby, because they talk about that. Is he another basketball player? Well, they talk about in the scene, like Larsa, because Stephanie wants to hook her up. She's like, why don't you try like a businessman as opposed to all these athletes? Maybe get out of dating athletes. And Larsa's like, I'm open to everything. I'm really following what the energy is. And I was like, okay, Larsa. The energy always have you end up with an athlete? Okay, we're being very generous by saying that Marcus Jordan's an athlete. He's a failed athlete, okay? His father is the athlete, all right? He's a Nepo baby. So she's just like, this is where the energy leads. I'm like, girl, come on now. I think for Larsa, she doesn't have the brain capacity, or she doesn't want to have the brain capacity to actually meet a man on the same level. So she has to meet someone that's at the same elementary level when it comes to conversation. That's where I'm like, I don't know if I could really date someone that's younger, but also just younger minded. There are some people that are younger that are older, mature minded, a handful. However, for the most part, can you imagine talking to like a 20-something-year-old about like just certain things? And I'm just like, but she has such a immature personality. There are some moments that I'm like, oh, Larsa actually is not as dumb as she portrays. However, I still think that it's still there. I still think it's there. And so for her, it's better for her. It's because can you imagine? Men are definitely a lot more immature than women. So can you imagine dating a 20-something-year-old man that's already not at your level at, how old is Larsa? I don't want to say it. How old is Larsa? I'll let y'all tell me. Someone Google schmoogle it, all right? Because I was going to guess 50s? But okay. Oh, he plays basketball. Thank you, Dej. He plays basketball. Surprise, surprise. So can you imagine? Men are already immature. So she's already dating a immature-minded 20-something-year-old. Okay? So can you imagine? And women, no matter if we think Larsa is less than smart, she's still more mature than him. She's 51. Oh, thank you. Because I wasn't sure. I don't want to guess. So I just can't imagine. So they call him during the after show, and Stephanie was good with this one. Stephanie asked them because there was something her alarm or something was going off at her apartment. So they end up calling her boyfriend, and Stephanie asked him, is having kids a deal breaker? Because Larsa reveals in the after show, yes, there's an after show. You're welcome, bravo. That she has some eggs frozen, and she's open to having more children. She doesn't want to physically have the children. I don't think she could. Just saying. I mean, look, Janet did it, but whatever. Everyone goes back to Janet. Janet Jackson. Janet did it. So she says she has some eggs frozen, and she's open to having more kids. So when Stephanie gets him on the phone, she's just like, so is having kids a deal breaker? And then there's a long pause. There was a long pause, y'all. Sir, are you there? There was a long pause. And he was like, it's not a deal breaker. And then they asked whether or not would he be open to a surrogate. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll be open to a surrogate. That doesn't matter to me. Okay. He's 31, so he's grown. He's 31. Marcus was 34. I still look at them like they were in their 20s, though. I mean, they're still grown. At the end of the day, because, people still dragging Drea for, I don't know, how old is the guy that Drea is dating? But there's so many of these men, hey, Shannon Sharp, dating 19-year-olds. But okay, fine. Savannah says he's lying. Yeah, that pause, that long pause. That long pause said everything that I needed to know because he says he definitely wants to have children. He says it's not a deal breaker, but he definitely wants to have children. Okay. Taurus Moon says Taurus Moon says I'm 51. My eggs are powder. She has eggs frozen because when she said my eggs, I was like, what eggs? But then she elaborated. Sorry, Larsa. Did you guys see people were talking about Larsa's face the other day? Because she did an interview and everyone was like, ooh, her face. And she said she had a bad reaction to a PRP that she had. Okay. And then she's like, this is what my face really looks like. Mind you, she's like on Instagram with a filter. This is what my face really looks like. Larsa, I never really talk about your body or your face, girl. I remember what the original face and butt used to look like. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Leave it alone, y'all. Hey, Nicole, thank you so much for being a member and thank you for the super chat. Nicole says the Swedish cook lost her meatballs over her. Julia! You mentioned meatballs. Now I'm like hungry. Oh, damn. I just had a shake. I'm going to eat a good something after this then. What should I eat? Meatball. I had some good pasta the other day. I think I found a good place near me because, I moved. So you have to find like your new spots. So I need to. Miss Rose says, Larsa lied, Kempire. I know she lied. Shit. I'm just running with it, okay? I'm just running with it. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Where else do I want to go? Shout out to everyone that's here. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to our King's Guards guys. Don't forget to say thank you to them. Shout out to our Twitch community that we're building over there. If you haven't joined our Twitch community, you should. Okay, twitch.tv/Kempire. You can also hear an audio version of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. All right, so get your ticket. Join our podcast, and don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Speaking of tickets, though. Don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience. The reason why I keep repeating it, I can't tell you the amount of people. I was live on TikTok yesterday. Someone said, oh, I didn't know you had a New York City show coming up. I didn't know you were coming to D.C. We have a D.C. show next Friday, literally a week from tomorrow. I will be in D.C. for the Kempire After Dark live experience at the Pearl Street, D.C. location. Okay, it's not the same location that we've done many other times. It's actually across the street. Comoda's across the street. Okay, so go get your tickets today. Meet and greets are available for that show. Let's sell out that show. Come on, D.C., what are you waiting on? I haven't done a ticket check, but go get your tickets if you're in the DMV area. What else is going on? Podcast host Taria Faison will be opening up for me there. So stay tuned for that. And then, of course, New York City, September 12th. September 12th, my hometown, y'all. Let's make sure that we sell that show out. But that show also has a live stream option. So even if you don't get a ticket for the in-person, you can get a live stream ticket. Get your tickets today. More information will be available in the description. Okay? Hey, Amina. Amina says, I haven't made a live in so long. Woohoo! Hey. Okay, let me focus. Right, Pageant Mom says, these people must have been on holiday all summer. How do they not know about your shows? I don't know. I try to mention every single time I'm live or wherever I am. I don't know. But it's okay. Not everyone watches everything. And even people I see in the streets, they'll be like, oh, I didn't know you had a live show coming up. I'm like, okay. Yes, MK says, I bought my tickets to the New York show live stream because the Brooke Ashley was withholding RHOPT. Thanks, Brooke. Brooke will be opening up for us in New York City, so I'll be sitting waiting for that tea as well. Oh, and DC, don't forget, I will also be dropping some exclusive information. It's not RHOP related. It's more pop culture related. So stay tuned for that. You will be the first to hear. Even some of my friends, even Taria doesn't know what this information I'm going to drop at this Washington, D.C. show is. So go get your tickets soon. Okay, Keith says, I have to come back to New York City the day before, so I'll definitely be at your New York City show again. All right, Keith. Make sure I see you, Keith. Make sure I see you. And bring the boyfriend. Bring the boyfriend from Chicago. Bring the boyfriend to the show. I think that'd be cool. I'll be like, I know about that relationship. There's always a lot of Virgos at the New York show. I don't know why. And don't be scared, guys, to come on your own. Okay? Damn. Dana said I had to Google schmoogle Larsa's old face. I thought she looked fine, but look, your body, your choice. I strongly believe that in every shape and form. Your body, your choice. Okay? Foxy says, we want to know too, Kempire. Stay tuned. I will mention it during the New York City show, but I'll be dropping it at DC first. Just saying. Okay, let me move on. If you're a Club Kempire member, I didn't say what it was, but I hinted at it. So, how I see it says, Brooke loves you because I was seated waiting for the tea on RHOP. Thanks, Brooke. Okay. Allie says, I'm scared as a Virgo to go. We always catch strays with Kempire. There's so many Virgos there, though. Allie, there's so many Virgos that come to the show. They're not kidding. You're a Virgo. Whenever was a Virgo scared of anything? Come on now. Please stop. Okay. He says, laughing out loud. I'll ask him for sure. All right. Couples trip. It is Virgo. It is Virgo season during the New York City show. Let me focus. Let me move on. Okay. All right. So a random person keeps calling Larsa. This is where Stephanie talks about Larsa needs to start dating other guys outside of the basketball world. All right. Larsa says she's open to Stephanie hooking her up, but Stephanie really doesn't even have anyone in line because Stephanie has no friends. Come on. Maybe Masood has a friend, an older gentleman. I just don't see it happening. I don't see her dating an older man at this particular point in her life. Just saying. Little Miss Sunshine says, Virgos, don't be scared of Kempire's life. He won't come for you. Look. I might not. Who knows? All right. So then they start talking about what Julia did. And Stephanie says that she was hurt that she would even do something like that. Especially because she thought she was in a safe space when she was talking about her issues with Alexia. Apparently not. Apparently it wasn't a safe space. Who knew? It's Julia. If y'all didn't learn a thing or two by now. You know what, Miss Rose? You must be new here, Miss Rose, and you're not new here. She says, Kempire going in on Virgos, but be letting Pisces and Capricorns around unscathed. Well, I don't have problems with Capricorns, but Pisces? Are you kidding me? Come on now. Look, come on now. The Pisces be getting it too. Maybe not lately, but they be getting it too. All right, so the ladies meet downstairs for dinner, okay? Marisol hired this guy, Danny, to sing, the flamingo serenading and things like that. And specifically, she hired this guy for Alexia. So he decides to sing this song to Alexia. So he sings the song, but the way he sings it, maybe because I'm a professionally trained singer, so I can appreciate the way the technique that he's using, because it's not a normal technique. I know some of you are probably like, what is he doing? This doesn't sound great. But it's a certain way of singing, but it's very passionate. And because the group doesn't know what he's saying, but we see the lyrics, we get what he's saying. And of course, Alexia and Marisol understand. So they're getting a little emotional. They're like, I guess when you understand the words and you understand what Alexia is going through, it can be a little emotional, especially when you're really friends. And Alexia and I know Julia is so mad that she wasn't included in the after show with her besties, Alexia and Marisol. I will say though, they paired up Kiki and Julia, perfect match, because you can't trust either one. Just saying. Just say, Sharjay says he sounded terrible in my opinion. No, it's a certain technique, the way that he was singing. Anyway, Westchester Latina says his singing threw me off. Here's the thing, but I bet you both wouldn't have been laughing while he was singing, because that's disrespectful. Especially when you don't know what he's saying. And maybe they were laughing, meaning Adriana was laughing, Larsa laughed. She was like, huh? I was like, oh, Lord, here we go. So they're laughing while he's serenading Alexia. Alexia's like, And then Marisol is wiping away tears, and it's like, okay. Winter says, okay, Winter with the new photo. Winter says, Julia really thinks she's part of their friend group. Like, girl, I told y'all, go back at my recaps, okay? Riz says, is there any tea about the reunion yet? I haven't heard anything solid. They did spill some tea at the recent DirecTV event in regards to something big, major happens at the reunion that has never happened at the reunion before. It doesn't involve Gertie or Alexia. It seems like Gertie and Alexia are in a good place because they were in the same interview together and like kikiing with each other. But we also saw Alexia in these recent interviews really separating herself from the rest of the group with how Gertie was treated during the season. So, but we have to remember, Gertie came on the show through Alexia. It doesn't mean that they were really friends, but I think in a lot of our heads, we were like, they used to be like really close. She planned your wedding. So I kind of want to see more of Alexia and Gertie having a good time. I don't know if that will ever feel authentic, but when we get those moments, I'm like, oh, I kind of like to see this. I want to see more of this. Stephanie understood the words, but she was laughing as well, Miriam says. You got a good point. I think maybe they were laughing more so at Marisol and Alexia's reactions. Maybe. No, come on. Allie says Julia gets fired on the spot. Fingers crossed. That's the rumor that Julia got fired at the reunion. You guys know Bravo's not going to do anything like that. I mean, that would be funny if it did happen. But you know Bravo's not going to do anything like that. The recent interview that they did talking about the Real Housewives of Miami, they said that Julia was reprimanded for splashing Gertie with the water. They're not trying to fire her. I wouldn't be surprised, though, that Julia doesn't return next season. I'm hopeful. Just saying. Okay. April says that... April says, don't trust the Gertie. Alexia speaking out. Yeah, it feels like she wants to be in the good graces of the fans. I don't think they were prepared for the amount of backlash as a cast that they were going to get. Angel says, Angel's watching on Twitch. She says, I have no faith in Bravo's HR, especially after the Kenya and the Brit Edie of it all. Yeah. Keith says that Mia got fired at the reunion. I mean, not really, but I know what you mean. All right, so we see that performance. Then it leads to a conversation about Lisa and where is Lisa. So they give us an update on what's going on with Lisa. Lisa had to take a flight from Miami. She had to get another flight. A flight from Miami to London, from London to Madrid, because there was no direct flight anymore for the day because she missed her flight by 1 minute. Okay, Lisa. But then she had to take a train from Madrid to Sevilla. Well, that sucks. Because, again, I don't know if she's traveling alone. I'm assuming that's the way they made it seem. I'm assuming production did not wait for her and they didn't leave a producer behind for Lisa. So she had to, all her luggage, because you know she was packing a bunch of stuff because these are housewives overpack. So she's trying to maneuver all of her stuff on the train, but she makes it. And she didn't look. She wasn't annoyed. She wasn't pissed off. I was like, I'm impressed, but everyone's concerned. They're like, oh my gosh, like Monkey has to take a train and da da da. That's what Marisol calls her. So they talk about that. Then Stephanie, because Marisol brings up the weird vibe that Stephanie brings up the dressmaker. So the next day they're supposed to be going to like this dressmaker, the Altier, and they're supposed to get dresses made and things like that. So what's going to happen with Lisa? So we will leave Lisa with the last appointment, but if she doesn't make it, she doesn't make it. Fine. Then Marisol brings up the weird vibe when they arrived at the bar earlier in the day. So Alexia says that Stephanie judged her since day one. So this leads to the conversation about what Stephanie had been saying about her and what Julia brought up. And Julia was just like, get ready. We were talking about you. So this leads to Stephanie and Alexia going back and forth about their gripes with each other. About, you've had issues. Alexia says, you've had issues with me since day one. And in the confessional, Stephanie's basically saying, like, her issue isn't with Alexia. She didn't like how Alexia called her, I forgot what Alexia called her, a chihuahua or something like that. And then a kiss ass and things like that. But she's like, if anything, I'm rooting for her. And the person I think is trash is Todd. Here's the thing. I get where Stephanie's coming from, but Stephanie is very new to the group. And if you're new to a group, I get it's Housewives. You get intermingled. You share your opinions, blah, blah, blah. But even when you're new to a group, you don't start trashing someone's husband that clearly she's having this on-again, off-again relationship with. You don't do that. If one of the other ladies, even the other ladies aren't necessarily doing that. But this is what's making Stephanie stand out in the group, is this issue with one of the OGs, okay? So they make their gripes back and forth. So there's a lot of back and forth between Alexia and Stephanie when it comes to, you know, where this started. But when we really think about it, and again, a lot of people are like, how did Stephanie end up with first seed? How did she end up with first seed? I don't know. If it's based on, especially after this dinner, it feels like they put their issues to bed again. So how do we end up with this still ongoing for the rest of the season? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. Especially when we still have everything that's been playing out with Gertie online between her and Julia. I don't understand it, but whatever. I don't really care, but it still doesn't make sense to me. So they have their back and forth. And one thing I will say, Stephanie, she's a force. We have to give Stephanie her credit. She's not backing down to Alexia. She took a lot of jabs at Alexia. One of the things she said to Alexia, what did she say? She said, Stephanie says that she's sorry that Alexia was offended, but then she says, sometimes the truth hurts. I appreciate that. I appreciate her not being a punk. Because there's some of these housewives, they're like, oh my God. But no, she really goes in there when it comes to Alexia coming for her. And Adriana's just like, Adriana makes a lot of sense. She's like, Alexia's going to try and downplay that she doesn't feel insecure. Marisol's like, I wish I was more insecure. Girl, you are insecure. Can we all raise our hands if we think that Marisol is insecure? Marisol's so insecure because she doesn't have a full-time position on the show that she's been trying desperately to obtain. I don't think she understands what insecure means. Just saying. I still love me some Marisol. Don't get me wrong. I don't love everything Marisol has said and done, but I still like her on the show. Okay? She's like, I wish I could be a little bit more insecure. You were very insecure when it came to Dr. Nicole. Hence why you had to put Juju on Adriana and send a private eye, allegedly. I would send a private eye on Dr. Nicole. Sounds like insecurity to me. Anyone else? Keith says that Scorpios love to fight, so we know Stephanie ain't backing down. And I have to say, the stinger came out during that conversation. Adriana said, though, she says that she believes that Alexia is insecure when it comes to Stephanie because Stephanie's coming in as this powerhouse with money and things like that. And you remember, it was Alexia who says, I'm the star. I'm the star. Alexia wants to now try and change the narrative. Like, she's not a narcissist. She's an empath. And she might be an empath, okay? But you are still a narcissist. You are still the one that said, oh, I'm the star. I am the star. You want to be the star of the show. And now this woman's coming in with money. This is why you guys didn't like Dr. Nicole. Because she came in with the lifestyle that you guys pretend to have, allegedly. And these women are actually there, at least for the most part, have it. I mean, there are no holes in Dr. Nicole's money. But there seems to be some holes in that Sonjai money, but okay. How I see it says she is insecure, which is why she doesn't want Adriana around. Exactly. Marisol, you're talking about. All right. Allie says an empath of delusion. Jed says that Marisol is a snake. Yeah, she is. All right. But I will say, by the end of their conversation, they do make... That's the one thing about Stephanie that I feel like she is apologetic. She is trying to move forward. And they, by the end of their conversation, despite the back end and the forth, they do end up getting to a better place where it seems like they deaded this situation. And Alexia is like, oh, I think we could be great friends. Not just friends, but great friends. Because she's like, we're already friends. Really? I don't know about all that. All right, let me take a sip. And while I do that, guys, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. April says a narcissistic empath. Foxy says, this is good. Foxy says, an empath. When it comes to Frankie, yes, but not towards other people. We love our Frankie. Frankie was like, I don't like these shoes that you have on, that she was packing for the trip. Keith says that Marisol is Robin, Alexia is Giselle. Here's the difference. Hear me out, Keith. Marisol and Robin are not the same. Yes, the alliance between them, probably the same. But when I think about her personalities, Robin is so dry. At least with Alexia, like Alexia, really, her confessionals make me laugh. Jen says that Marisol has dark energy. Ooh. Hey, oh, there goes Norma's comment. Thanks, Norma. Norma, thank you for being a member. Norma says, Stephanie admitted that she herself was insecure, which is why the name Chihuahua offended her because she's short. She acknowledged that on the airplane, and Julia had absolutely no empathy. Julia doesn't have empathy for her wife that was going through cancer. I don't expect anything less from Julia. Just saying. I don't expect anything less. And that's true, too. Danny says that Robin is not sneaky like Marisol. I will say that. She isn't. She's sneaky in other ways, but I get what you're saying. She's not sneaky like that. She's sneaky when it comes to Juan Dixon. Okay. All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting the channel. And if you're listening to this, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And everything Kempire, for those that always ask me about my skincare routine, get 10% off from our friends over at Butter. The Butter discount is available in the description. So go get your Butter products today. I love my Butter products. Okay. Jasmine says, what about the early seasons of regular Robin? We probably, we're doing every single Monday. Right now, we're watching Real Housewives of Atlanta season 6. We will have to do a rewatch of Real Housewives of Potomac. What season should we do? Replay crew, be sure to like the video if you haven't already. But let us know too, like what season of Real Housewives of Potomac should we do if we were to do a rewatch? Okay. All right. Okay. Before we get to the rest of this, let me drop the call-in link for our friends on our members. So if you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you guys first. Okay. So head on over to the post tab here on YouTube members. I'm going to drop the call link for you guys. Live chat. We have over 800 of you here. Let's get to 400 likes. We're so close to 400 likes. And I will drop the call link for you guys here. All right. Let me drop the call in link for our members. Live chat, once we get to 400 likes, I will drop the call in link for you guys as well. So Lisa finally arrives to the trip. And she's almost 24 hours later arriving on this trip, okay? The flight to Spain ain't that long. At least not from New York. I don't remember how long it is. But it ain't that long. But, yeah. Let's rewatch Monique. What do you mean? The infamous Candace. That's season 5. Ooh, do we really want to revisit that so soon? Look, so soon? We're on season 10? Ooh. We'll have to do a vote because you guys always surprise me when we finally. The V Light says 2 or 3. I could see. I feel like that season 5 gets dark. That's where I feel like the show really changes. I feel like a season 2 or 3 would be good. Katie's last season, Angel says on Twitch. I feel like those Katie seasons when she was full time might be good. All right, because everyone keeps asking for Katie back. Tacky Toy says, let's not. Tacky Toy, where you been? All right. Lisa finally arrives and she goes to see Alexia and Marisol first. And she's like, the eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. And Alexia's, oh no, do not come in here with that energy. And she's like, what? What's going on? So, yeah. Here's the thing. I got to defend Lisa in some shape or form. But before I do that, Lisa should have at least texted them. Because based on how they're describing it, they're describing it like Lisa did not say anything to them. That's not cool. Because people could be worried about you. But they obviously knew where she was or what she was doing on at some particular point. Because they knew about her taking a train. Okay? So, she should have let them know. However, she just arrived. We could talk about that. We're just happy to see you. But maybe they're just so upset that she's doing this all the time. Okay? That she's always late. Not just for show stuff, but she's late for the reunion. She's late for her confession. Like, she's always late. But she's also not one to reach out to them. Because it's not even just about her being late, guys. They also talk about Lisa doesn't call them. Lisa doesn't respond to them. So there's some other underlying things. It's not just about Lisa being late. However, Lisa just was traveling for 23 hours. Her own fault. It was her own fault. But because I was like, damn, maybe because I travel. And for those that travel, you kind of understand how you feel when you just came from traveling. You don't want to fight with people. I just got here, guys. Let me sip on my margarita. And we could talk about this later, but then she says, when they find out why I'm late, they're going to feel so bad. Girl, you're always late. Like, what is it? Like, I'm willing to say that I'm wrong once you tell us why you're always late. And if you blame it on your kids, I don't believe that. Riz says that, so Lisa's another Quad. Is Quad always late? But okay. User QF says, I think a rewatch of season 3 or 4 of Potomac were the best. We'll see. Let's get through season 6 of Real Housewives of Atlanta for our rewind, rewatch, recap here on the channel. If you missed it, we had a new episode that we recapped the first 4 episodes of season 6 on Monday. You can also hear it on the Kempire podcast. Savannah says she always shows up late, and I think at that point they are just annoyed. But like I said, I don't think it's just her showing up late. I think it's the lack of communication. I think they feel like she doesn't treat them well as friends. I think there's more to it. Oh, this is why I feel like you guys. It's not just that Quad. Someone said that Quad is always late, but Quad not being very friendly to she doesn't treat them like friends. So maybe that's what people are thinking. That's how Lisa's treating this cast. Like, she's not really friends with them off of the cast. Oh, maybe. Maybe. I mean, she just hasn't given a speech saying that, these are my real friends. She did do a video talking about how Larsa is not her real friend. And this was just, they just got back connected during the show. So maybe. Excuse me. All right. So if you remember the channel, I've dropped the call link for you guys as well. So Lisa gets really frustrated with Alexia and Marisol because they're talking about her being late and not texting and letting people know. I don't think anything that Alexia and Marisol said was wrong. I just think the timing. She just traveled here, y'all. And she took a very long time. Oh, someone says, I think it's her man. Abusive, jealous? I don't think that's what she's going to say, but he does seem a little controlling. And based off of what's happening later on during this trip, where we see Jody is texting Larsa, we shall see. I mean, I hope not. Maybe it's the AC. Makes him a little angry. My AC makes me cool, but okay. But all right, fine. All right, let's get to our callers, guys. Don't forget, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors, and everything that they say is alleged and of their own opinion. Okay? All right. Shout out to Diego's watching on X. Diego says he's probably an athlete in regards to Larsa's man. Diego says, stop the Larsa voice. Diego says, right? Could you imagine talking to her? Diego had feelings about the Larsa conversation. Diego says, she doesn't appear to have any substance to her combos. So that's probably why Larsa likes to date the men that she likes to date. Maybe. All right, guys, we're almost at 400 likes on YouTube. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We're about to get to our callers section of our Real Housewives of Miami recap. Tomorrow, we will be recapping Real Housewives of Miami and Real Housewives of OC. I haven't decided if I'm going to combine it. I just feel like there's so much to talk about when it comes to Real Housewives of Miami. I don't want to combine them. Let's see if I have time to pre-record maybe Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm definitely not going to do a separate live for Orange County. And I don't think I'll be doing one going forward. Just too much. I don't got the time, y'all. I don't got the time to be doing that. Unless Bravo wants to send me the screeners. I could ask for them. I should just ask. Can I get the screeners for the rest of the season, please? I promise I won't. I'll keep talking about them on point. I've never leaked anything. I've been very good about that stuff. I take contractual agreements very seriously, unlike some of your housewives. Huh? Who said that? All right. We have 10 more likes before we get to 400 likes. I will drop the call link once we get to that, but we have a few members that are backstage. So we're going to bring up Wendy first. Wendy, what did you want to share?
Hi. Hey. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm so glad I'm first for it. It's been a long time since I've been
I know.
First, but I just want to say I really enjoyed the way they chewed Julia out for snitching. I was living for that moment.
Yeah.
And I said, I wish you would have said a little bit more. Adriana would have said a little bit more, but I think it's all going to explode. Their friendship will, but that's all I wanted to say. I love that part.
Yeah.
All right. You have a good one.
Thanks. Thanks, Wendy. Bye. All right. Amina's backstage. We're going to bring Amina up next. Amina, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. It's been so long. How are you?
Well, how are you?
This darn baby keeps me away from all the lives, but I enjoy watching on the replay crew.
Thank you.
Yes, this episode, what I learned from the after show, watching Kiki, I really got the ick from Kiki.
Right?
Kiki is giving me Bozema energy.
Yes.
Like, her energy in the after show, I was like, ew, I don't like it. And I had so much, I was rooting for her. She's not who I thought she was. Like, I've seen Kiki's true colors this season, and especially in the after show, the way she talks, the way her aura, no. I'm so disappointed and sad for Kiki, and I'm sad for Gertie that she doesn't have some real kinfolk next to her, because just like Bozema, not all skinfolk are kinfolk. And Julia needs to go. I'm tired. I'm worried for her boys. I'm actually genuinely worried for Julia's two boys. And I won't be surprised if Julia leaves the show that we never see those boys ever again. Something happens, like she gives them back to where she got them from, and we never talk about it again.
God, I hate that. Thank you, Amina, for calling in. Did you guys see that Jillian Michaels thing that's now going viral? Jillian also has a black kid. So this is exactly why I'm concerned for Julia's two black boys. It's situations like the Jillian Michaels situation that's happening, that's going viral right now. But Amina's correct. If you watch the after show, there are a couple of moments that I'm just like, oh. And here's the thing. I don't need Kiki to just have Gertie's back because they're black. I just need you sometimes not to carry news for desperation for your role. I don't know. I'm sorry. Look, Elle, my bell's backstage. Elle, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Hi, Maud. Hi, chats.
Hey.
It's been a long time since I've called.
I know.
Actually, today off, so I was able to be part of the live without the replay. So I'm just piggybacking off of what you said about Larsa. You are correct. In my opinion, she cannot hold a conversation with a business type. And it made me think back to the episode on Beverly Hills where Sutton took them to Spain, funny enough. And Erica was at the table, the whole Mercer's in the purse part. And then the lady from Lebanon was like talking about her country, and Erica instantly could just jump in. And she said, I had to learn that to be around Tom and his colleagues and friends. I had to learn.
Merce is in the purse.
Sorry, I had to pull it out.
Perfection. But yes, but that is exactly what she said. She had to learn to do that in order to be around that kind of inner circle and men of business and like dignitaries. So that was my call. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Elle, my belle.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. I agree. I definitely agree. Elijah's backstage. Elijah, what's going on? What do you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
It's been a minute since I've called.
I know so many people.
Yeah, because I was working, but now I had time, but I'm here. I want to say a couple of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I actually used to like Julia, but, the farmer's going outside because it's like, it's like I don't understand her desperation. Like, it's sad. You can literally see the desperation leaking out her pores. Yeah. Even when she was on the plane, like, everybody else is talking about other things, and she has to go ahead and mention, oh, do you think that they're jealous? It's like she's trying too hard, and it's actually embarrassing. And then for her to go back and run that to Alexia, and then Alexia told her, I told you not to talk about me. It's giving very much it's given to me like the Fox Force 5, you know what I mean? It's giving like Kyle, you know what I mean, vibes. And, one thing I will say, though, about Alexia is, to be honest, I do have a little bit of a soft spot for her. She reminds me in certain ways, not in all her problematic ways, but in certain ways of like my aunt, you know what I mean? So it's like some things that she does, like the way she acts, and something that she thinks that she knows it all. It's like I have this warmth to her a little bit, but at the same time, then when I see the way she acts, almost like trying to run the group. Yeah. But I also feel like if Marisol wasn't there, she would be much friendlier. That's how I feel. I feel like Marisol is like the brains, if that makes sense. And she's not getting that mojito, so I don't know why she keeps trying.
Right. She desperate for that mojito.
Facts.
Wow. Thanks, Elijah. Yeah, I wonder what that would look like. But that would probably hurt Marisol not to be on the show, even as a friend of. Remember what she said? I don't remember what season it was. She's like, I want to be here with my friends and filled with my friends. I don't know if that would work. I don't know. All right, Keith is backstage. And for those that wanted the live chat, the call-in link, I just dropped it for everyone. We have Keith backstage. Keith, what did you... Oh, wait, Keith, are you there? Keith? Hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, no, Keith. There's Keith. The old Keith was on. Okay, Keith, are you there? Muted. You're muted.
Hello, you can hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, sorry about that. I was in the middle of a conversation. So what I wanted to talk about was, first of all, I wanted to come to Lars's defense on the age gap relationship.
Oh.
As someone that is in an age gap relationship.
I didn't realize that. Please do tell.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you already remember about the person I was dating that is 11 years old.
Wait, how many years older? Oh, you're breaking up.
So, I'm trying to come to her defense in the fact that you say that again.
Oh, I'm gonna need you not to have T-Mobile. Well, hello. Sorry to the T-Mobile users. I can't hear you now, Keith. I need to hear this story, Keith. Call back in, Keith. I need to know the full story. I couldn't hear you, Keith. Drop out and call back in because I need to know. I was like, how old? I didn't realize the man was old. Because if you were part of our dating lives, Keith talked about his relationship, that he moved to Chicago, and now he's with the man. Okay, but anyway. Wait, hold on. Keith, are you there? Nope. I don't know what happened. All right, let's bring up Winter. Winter, what did you want to share?
Hi. Okay, so my thoughts are, I don't understand why Marisol would, she just stay as the front row. Like, you're not going to get a full-time capacity. Like, it's just, you don't have nothing going on, so why you keep trying to fight for it? Like, I don't get it. And then Julia, like, why, when the way she went up to Alexia, like, when she tried to tell her that information, it was like, she was scared, like nervous. Like, it really is sad when you see grown women on these shows, like, try so hard for approval of other women. Like, it's sad. It really shows you, like, wow, like, it doesn't matter what age. People don't grow out of these things. Like, exactly. And Stephanie is like, I do like her, but she just has that side that is like, just stop with the money bragging, especially after I've been listening to that podcast with Anna. She's been exposing a lot, like about Stephanie's finances and Julia. And remember, I was saying Julia's sketchy on the low. Like, she has a sketchy background. So those are those two funny ones. Oh, and she also said that she doesn't like.
You dropped out. Winter. She also doesn't like who? I can't hear you now. Is something going? Is it my internet? 'Cause I can't
People
hear.
be trying to interrupt the calls.
Oh.
Sorry, but they also said that she said, oh, that side note, she doesn't like Kiki.
Now
You can hear me?
Now I can. She doesn't like who? Damn. What is going on today? Hello? You got T-Mobile too?
Yo, I do. Oh my God. Anyway, she just said she don't like Kiki, that she's thirsty for a spot. She said she rubbed her wrong during I think that appearance she had made when it was like Kiki's first season. So it's starting to show with Kiki. It's starting to show. A lot of things are making sense and I'm starting to see it. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me go. Bye.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow. I know we're in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, but y'all can still hear me. If there's an issue, because I was on someone else's live a few weeks ago, and YouTube, I don't know, that's been a thing lately where you have to actually get out of the app and then go back in, or close out the web browser and then go back into YouTube. Sometimes it's been doing that a lot lately. So if that's playing with you guys, it's y'all. All right. Tanya says stop. Y'all gonna get sued by T-Mobile. No, I'm just making a joke. Okay. I'm playing, T-Mobile users. I'm playing. Oh, you guys are so sensitive. Okay. Keith, are you there? Keith, are you there?
Oh, child, why do I have T-Mobile too? Ooh, this is embarrassing. And on top of that, I'm a Virgo, so you know that Mercury is whooping me every which way but loose.
Yeah, especially right now.
Okay, so my apologies no, I shouldn't be apologizing. The universe should be apologizing. But
okay, so what was the age difference between you and the man?
So we are actually 11 years apart. So I turned 26 in about a week and a half. He just turned 37 yesterday. Actually,
you're 26. I mean, I haven't seen a picture of you, Keith. I mean, I've seen a picture, but I didn't think you could. I think I'm basing this off our conversations. I didn't know that you were 26. You're young.
Yeah. I'm fairly younger than him, but you know, but in my defense with the whole age difference, I really just think it's about the connection. And as long as the person is legal and of 21 or older, then I feel like it's fine. Now, when it's a little weird if you're like 19 dating a 40-year-old or even 21 dating a 40-year-old, I feel like there is a little bit of a difference that should be a little bit wary. But it really depends. And I think once the person is 30, then it should really all be consensual at that point. Now, also, I made a comment. I said not all athletes are slower than sloths. You know, most of them are, but I think some of them can actually have intellectual conversations. I think some of them, especially since he's not in the NBA, so I'm assuming he probably has a little bit of knowledge to him since he wasn't, an athlete. I'm assuming his head was in the books. But that's all about Larsa. Also with Lisa, it becomes an issue when everyone has to bring it up that you're late. It's one thing for you to be sporadically late here and there, but when multiple people have to bring it up, then yes, there's clearly an issue. And I don't want to hear nothing about, she's a single mom. I'm pretty sure she got nannies. If she's spending $31,000 a month on an apartment, Lisa, and sorry, Lisa, but you don't give me motherly vibes. I don't see her going to soccer practice. I don't see her taking her kids to school in the morning. Okay, I really don't. I see her probably calling up her mother. Well, her mom don't even live in Florida, so I can't
helpers, babysitters, nannies.
Babysitters, nanny. I definitely don't see her actually doing motherly duties as far as that. But overall, that's about it. Oh, so one last thing, Stephanie. I actually really do like her. I feel like she humbles these girls a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I'm not going to really pay too much attention on the rumors because I feel like at some point all these housewives have rumors of something, whether it's their finances, their husband, their children, until I see some court documents or a landlord going on live saying such and such and pay their bills. Then I'll start looking at her sideways. But rumors isn't enough for me to look at her money sideways.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. I mean, because they did get on a private jet and go all the way to Sevilla.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, Keith. And that plane ain't fake. I mean, we'll see next season whether or not she actually finishes that new home that they were renovating. I mean, Keith speaks a lot of sense. Virgo. I mean, I'm surprised that Virgo has T-Mobile, but I'm playing. Calm down. All right, April's backstage. April, what did you want to share?
Good evening, Kempire, or afternoon. You know what? Speaking of carriers, I'm thinking about leaving AT&T and going to Verizon, mainly because I want to get access to the Beyonce tickets at a quicker pace. Yeah, but let's talk about this episode. I still got my good eye on Stephanie, but she absolutely took me out when she banged on her chest. I said,
Alexia!
girl. I said, okay. And I do think that Alexia is insecure because whether or not this is for a storyline, you don't let men embarrass you, period. You are supposed to terrorize them. Like, let's level the playing field. And I'm just so sad about Kiki because I feel like you should, out of all the people on the cast, you should understand being Black and then being Haitian at that. You should understand being under a lens and microscope. And so to not have another fellow Haitian back, and I have Haitian friends and they love hard. They will ride for you. They're some of the most authentic, amazing people you could think of. And it's just so sad that the other girls would have each other's back to a certain extent. But this is what you want to do? Have a good day. Oh, one more thing. Julia and them stiff wigs, they can go. Have a good day, Kempire.
You too, April. Not stiff wigs. Allie says, as a Virgo, I approve the switching up to a reliable carrier. And then someone called Kiki a carrier pigeon.
Whoa.
I mean, go watch the after show on Peacock. You could also watch it on YouTube as well. Not if you have T-Mobile. No, I'm playing.
Whoa.
No, you can watch it on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, so you can have so you can see the after show. I'm telling you, there's it's not very blatant, but there's certain little energies, and this is why Julia and Kiki could do the after show together. I'm sure Julia was probably pissed that she wasn't doing it with the bros. That's very sad. Mandy says, Mandy says, stop, Kempire. I'm a Virgo. My sun, moon, everything. And I have T-Mobile because I have a good plan. We're cheap.
Whoa.
Not me being psychic. Virgos, I need y'all to do better. Now I'm going to go text some of my Virgo friends. I'm like, who's your carrier? I'm going to text them today. I'm like, who's your carrier? Because I'm noticing a trend. Okay? I'm noticing a trend right now. I love it. Jasmine says, and then Kiki blocking. She blocked Gertie because when you block someone on Instagram, it will make the other person unfollow you as well. Kiki unfollowing, blocking Gertie after the reunion is wild. Instead of actually taking accountability, because she could have easily at the reunion made amends with Gertie and been like, you know what, I was wrong, I should have had your back more. But apparently that's not what happens. So, and Gertie didn't know that she got blocked by Kiki. So that makes me wonder, how does this play out during the reunion? Taurus Moon says, yes, Kiki's a bird. Oh, Kiki, ride it out, girl, because if you think this is hard, imagine if you were a full-time housewife. Just saying. Jean says, easy on us, Kim. What provider do you have? Verizon Wireless. I had them for like 20 years.
Whoa.
Okay. And my friends know I've been making jokes about T-Mobile for years. I just never really brought it here. Danielle, here comes Danielle. You know what, Danielle. Danielle said, hashtag Team Aries, hashtag Team Verizon Wireless. Stop it, y'all. Stop. I mean, I don't blame people for having T-Mobile because T-Mobile really does have really good, inexpensive plans. But these are the moments where I call it out. Okay. Elisa, we talked about the Salt Lake City trailer at the top of this. You might just have to rewind and go back. We play it as well, and I break it down piece by piece. Miss Parker's in the building. Miss Parker says Verizon Wireless 24 years. I don't know how long I've been with Verizon, but I've been with them a long time. Tanya says Northerners always have Verizon. No, they don't. Winter's not. Wait, winter. Yeah, winter. You say you had T-Mobile. A lot of New Yorkers have T-Mobile. Not this New Yorker. And my internet is not, at least not here, is not Verizon internet. But I'm about to switch it because I feel like it's very reliable. I have Verizon at the house. Just saying. Anyway, Ooh, Jessica says T-Mobile is the devil. That's why I switched. What do you mean? What do you mean? How do we go on such tangents? If you enjoy tangents like this, and if you want to know my explicit thoughts on T-Mobile, come to the Washington D show. Washington, D.C. I will see you guys next Friday at the Pearl Street, D.C. location. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, what are you waiting on? Meet and greet tickets are available as well. And then, of course, we have our New York City show September 12th at the Green Room 42. And that New York City show has an exclusive live stream option. So if you want to be a part of the show and have the live stream for a week, that's a great option to have. Get your tickets today for the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era, now. More ticket information is available in the description, along with my Butter skincare routine if you want 10% off, along with everything else Kempire. Subscribe to the Kempire podcast because sometimes we drop exclusive episodes there. Sometimes we add new information or new thoughts to the actual episode. Subscribe to the Kempire podcast today. And I dropped a new Club Kempire episode. That's the paid Apple Podcast subscription. And if you don't want to pay, you can try us out for 3 days for free. That's also available. All right. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you guys for the Super Chats, the Venmos, the Cash Apps, all of that. I appreciate your support. And thank you all for watching. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying before I move on. Xfinity Mobile is where I am, unfortunately. How's that? Look, how's that? SC says, I never had issues with T-Mobile. D. Pegram says, I got Mint. It works well enough. Not well enough. What is going on? Gene says, I've had T-Mobile for almost 20 years. I'm a Virgo and I get a senior discount. Another Virgo with T-Mobile. Not judging y'all. I was being facetious, but here we are. Gene says, I was with Sprint. Remember Sprint? For 15 years, and then they forced us into T-Mobile. Yeah, that's probably what happened. It's okay. I mean, you could have left, but it's okay. Everyone, have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow for our recap of the Real Housewives of Orange County and Real Housewives of Miami. Stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. As always, you can hear Kempire on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. More information can be found on KempireRadio.com.